Well, welcome to Advent. Welcome to the new year of the church. Welcome to waiting for impossible things. The promises of God feel more than unlikely, more than even unreasonable. Nations at peace, a world bent towards justice and love, using tools of war to feed the hungry, a world without sickness or violence. Welcome to waiting for impossible things. This unreasonable call of God, this invitation to step in to believing that things that are impossible for us to see are already real for God. And the comforting thing to me is that the reasonable no longer makes any sense to me anymore either. And so we are waiting for the miraculous. Together, we form a community of those who wait, who practice sitting in silence, who practice not knowing what comes next, even as we believe in a God who tells us what comes next. Everything in the church world sometimes feels like it moves just a step off from the world around us. For the world, so many New Year's celebrations are resolutions and champagne and fireworks. But in the church, the new year begins with love whispering, wait, stay awake, pay attention. The story of this world is long and complicated, and it is full of grief and longing. But we believe that this story of the world, as complicated as it is, ends beautifully, even when we're not exactly sure what we mean by end or beautifully. We know deep in the marrow of our faith that the story of this world is entirely held in the love of God, and that it is pointed towards peace and justice and reconciliation, and we want to stay awake because we want to see it. We try to stay awake because we need to see it. Because even as we believe that love is here and love is coming, it is hard. There are so many ways we try to keep track of time. Calendars and clocks and phones and candles, little boxes of chocolate hidden behind numbered doors, leaves on the trees, the darkening nights. If we knew what hour the thief was coming, we would probably guard our hearts a little bit better, but God will slip in when we do not expect it. There is a thief even now, on their way to rob us of certainty and fear. There is a thief coming in the night who will strip us clean of all of our self-loathing that is masked as caution. And so wait for it, says love. Stay awake and pay attention. Watchfulness and wakefulness here is not defensive, but heightened attentiveness, attuned to God's presence and God's love. And I pray that this is not a call to sleep deprivation, which I cannot afford, but rather to fascination, to wonder and delight. Jesus of all humans has stayed the most ready and the most awake. We watch through all of these stories as Jesus pays attention. He is wide awake and ready to love when the world brings its worst. He pays attention to the hungry and the thirsty, to the leper and the grieving sisters. He pays attention to the lonely and the wounded. He is awake both to the frightened rule followers and those who have already been kicked out for failing to follow the rules. And love is watching us, even as we watch and wait for love. And so with each new year, we begin a season of attention, which of course should be our whole lives, but we will start with today. We will start with this week, and then the next week, and the next. We will wait this week, and the next week, and the next. And we will pay attention, not like guard dogs, but like artists, like toddlers and like mystics. We will pay attention to the light as it filters through the last of the leaves that are clinging to the branches. We will pay attention to the woman on the corner holding her sign. We will pay attention to stars as they appear in glimpses through the clouds. We will pay attention to the friends who need a phone call from us. We will pay attention to the smell of cold, wet air and the longings of our own hearts. We will pay attention and we will stay awake because the miraculous is coming. The impossible is on its way, and it is unreasonable, and it is here. Amen.
Amen.